Hello, hello. Welcome to lesson 109 in the Course in Miracles. I rest in God. We ask for rest today and quietness, unshaken by the world's appearances. We ask for peace and stillness in the midst of all the turmoil born of clashing dreams. We ask for safety and for happiness, although we may seem to look on danger and on sorrow. And we have the thought that will answer our asking with what we request. I rest in God. This thought will bring to you the rest and quiet, peace and stillness, and the safety and the happiness you seek. I rest in God. This thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances to that same truth in everyone and everything there is. Here's the end of suffering for all the world, and everyone who ever came, and of suffering and yet will come to linger for a while. Let me try that again. Here's the end of suffering for all the world, and everyone who ever came, and yet will come to linger for a while. Here is the thought in which the Son of God is born again to recognize himself. I rest in God. Completely undismayed, this thought will carry you through storms and strife, past misery and pain, past loss and death, and onward to the certainty of God. There is no suffering it cannot heal. There is no problem it cannot solve, and no appearance but will turn to truth before the eyes of you who rest in God. This is the day of peace. You rest in God, and while the world is torn by winds of hate, your rest remains completely undisturbed. Yours is the rest of truth. Appearances cannot intrude on you. You call to all to join you in your rest, and they will hear and come to you because you rest in God. They will not hear another voice than yours because you gave your voice to God, and now you rest in Him and let Him speak through you. In Him you have no cares and no concerns, no burdens, no anxiety, no fear of future, and no past regrets. In timelessness you rest, while time goes by without its touch upon you, for your rest can never change in any way at all. You rest today, and as you close your eyes, sink into stillness. Let these periods of rest and respite reassure your mind that all its frantic fantasies were but the dreams of fever that has passed away. Let it be still and thankfully accept its healing. No more fearful dreams will come now that you rest in God. Take time today to slip away from dreams and into peace. Each hour that you rest today, a tired mind is suddenly made glad. A bird with broken wings begins to sing. A stream long dry begins to flow again. The world is born again each time you rest. And hourly remember that you came to bring the peace of God into the world, that it might take its rest along with you. With each 5 minutes that you rest today, the world is nearer waking, and the time when rest will be the only thing there is comes closer to all worn and tired minds, too weary now to go their way alone. And they will hear the bird begin to sing and see the stream begin to flow again, with hope reborn and energy restored to walk with lightened steps along the road that suddenly seems easy as they go. You rest within the peace of God today and call upon your brothers from your rest to draw them to their rest along with you. You will be faithful to your trust today, forgetting no one, bringing everyone into a boundless circle of your peace, the holy sanctuary where you rest. Open the temple doors and let them come from far across the world, and near as well, your distant brothers and your closest friends. Bid them all enter here and rest with you. You rest within the peace of God today, quiet and unafraid. Each brother comes to take his rest and offer it to you. We rest together here, for thus our rest is made complete. And what we give today, we have received already. Time is not the guardian of what we give today. We give to those unborn and those passed by, to every thought of God, and to the mind in which these thoughts were born and where they rest. And we remind them of their resting place each time we tell ourselves, I rest in God. I think some of the most important information in this is when we heal, when we rest in God, we are not only healing ourselves, but we are healing our future and we are healing our past. And that is a collective thing. And so those last lines is time is not the guardian of what we give today. We are giving eternity. We are giving infinity. And so when we rest in God, we are healing. We are giving that rest to our parents and our grandparents and those who came millennia before us. And we are giving that same peace to our children and grandchildren and the many, many generations that will come after them. We heal our friends and we heal their families just by resting in God. Have you ever wished that you could just curl up and be held when life gets really, really hard, where you just want to be in that state of that newborn baby where you can be snuggled and everything feels better? That's what is being offered to you in this lesson. When we rest in God, we own peace, we live peace, and we can share that with the world simply by accepting it. Imagine if you accepted $1 million and knew that by accepting it, you were offering that same level of abundance to the rest of the world. Is there any reason at all that you could think of that you would turn that down? Probably not. Okay, let's see what Jesus says through Tina Spalding. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. I rest in God. Oh, what a joy it is. What a joy it is not to be pushed and pulled by the tiny and incessant nagging fears and judgments of the world. Take some time today, dear ones, to stop and be quiet with yourself. Rest in God, knowing all is well with the world. The ego mind argues and says, I cannot rest. I have too much to do. I have children. I have a job. I have a mortgage. I have bills and dishes and so on. I have so much to do. Even in that life with so many obligations and responsibilities, you can sit in your car in the parking lot for 5 minutes and rest in God. Stop thinking, stop judging, stop fearing, and stop worrying. Just be, and you will see a difference in the world. When you do that for 5 minutes each hour, you will see at the end of the day that you have transformed yourself. In each hour that follows the 5 minutes, you find you are less anxious, less worried, and less controlling or fearful of bullying because you reinforce the truth that you can rest in God. The ego stories convince you that there is no place for rest. You have a phrase in your society, the devil loves idle hands. That teaching prevents you from stopping and discovering that you can rest in God. The idea of the Sabbath is a more positive reflection of that. The idea you can rest for a day and the world will continue. That is the truth. If you take 5 minutes out of every hour, you see that everything keeps going. You are not that important. You are not the thing that drives this world. There is an energy that plays itself out. The collective manifestations of everybody's beliefs, thoughts, and ideas keep bringing things your way. As you decide to tune into that source energy, where you came from, you become energized in a different way. You do not get your energy from the horizontal ego world of material possessions or prestige. You do not get your power from there. You get your power from where true power comes, which is your connection to the divine. You will see it play out on a different day. I am that one that you know is Jesus. I rest in God, and I suggest that you do too. We will see you again tomorrow. It's amazing what a few minutes of just sort of collecting yourself and just being can do for you. As it spoke in Jesus channeling that the world will continue without you for 5 minutes. If you have ever experienced an illness or an injury or a situation that has completely sidelined you from your life, um, as I have in a way that I had not anticipated, I was completely sidelined from all aspects of my life when I had a surgery a number of years ago. And the amazing part was nothing stopped. Nothing, my family kept going, my job kept going, and there was someone there to do my work. And the world kept turning in spite of the fact that I was on this kind of pause button. And I didn't have really the choice or the capacity to make a different choice in that because I was too weak and too sick at that point in time. That was one of the most eye-opening experiences that I've ever had because I realized how much of my own drama I was creating. And I realized that my family was okay with or without me. And so, is it better with me in the world? Some might think so. Is it imperative that I'm here? Some might also think that. But you know what? The truth of the matter is, the world will go on, and we will all go on. And so, let go of the attachments to the stuff of this world, to your job, to those responsibilities, to deadlines, to the shoulds and the obligations for 5 minutes an hour. We're not asking you to go sit on your own sideline. We're asking you to take 5 minutes. And, people will take a 5 minute cigarette break, or they will look through Facebook. I challenge you today, when you're going to pick up Facebook, or your social media, when you're going to scroll through something, when you're going to go have a cigarette, choose instead to rest in God and allow God to have that 5 minutes and see what the differences are in your day. Because even a moment resting in God is a level of eternal peace. Have a miraculous day, everyone. I'll talk to you again. Bye.